Denise is 61 years old. She's a nurse in Ohio. She's been working since 1986, which means for 38 years, every 2 weeks, she has looked at her paycheck and seen the same line. FICA. Social Security deduction. Automatic. No choice. Nothing she could do about it. This month, she ran the numbers on her retirement. Here is what she found. If she applies for Social Security in 2034, right on time with a full work record, she will receive 23% less than what was promised, 38 years of contributions, and the check will be smaller than the contract said. Did she contribute less? No. Did she apply too early? No. Did she misread the system? No. The rules changed. More accurately, the rules were never written to hold. By the end of this video, you will know exactly 3 things. Who made the decision that set this in motion, what single number could still fix it, and what Denise actually has in her hands right now. 1983. The Social Security system was weeks away from insolvency. It couldn't make payments. Congress formed a commission led by Alan Greenspan. The fix came. The retirement age was raised from 65 to 67. Payroll tax rates increased. Some benefits became taxable. It worked. For 40 years. But here is the critical detail. That commission did not fail to see 2033 coming. It saw it clearly. Their own actuarial projections showed the fund running out in the early 2030s. But 2 specific fixes were left out of the package. First, removing the income cap on payroll taxes, which was around $35,700 at the time. Second, allowing the trust fund assets to earn investment returns. Those were not technical oversights. They were political choices. Here is how the system works right now. Every dollar a worker earns is taxed at 6.2% for Social Security. Employers match that, so 12.4% total. But only on the first $168,600 of income. That is the 2024 cap. Dollar number 168,601. Zero tax. Put that in real numbers. A logistics worker earning $60,000 a year pays Social Security tax on 100% of their income. An investment manager earning $1 million a year pays Social Security tax on 16.8% of their income. Same rate, dramatically different burden. The SSA's 2024 Trustees Report is direct. The combined trust fund depletes in 2033. At that point, the system can only pay out what it collects that same year, which equals 77% of current benefit levels. That is the automatic 23% cut. Now here is the number that almost never makes the headline. The Congressional Budget Office's December 2023 analysis modeled what happens if the payroll cap is simply removed. No other changes. That single adjustment moves the depletion date from 2033 to the early 2060s. Roughly 30 years. One line item. This cut is not a mathematical inevitability. It is the accumulated result of a political choice made in 1983 and protected ever since. Gary is 68. He worked as a mechanical engineer in Pennsylvania. He started in 1979 and retired at 55 in 1991. An early retirement package, favorable terms, no pressure from the company. When he retired, his monthly Social Security check was $1,340. With annual cost of living adjustments over 33 years, That number is now $2,890 per month, uninterrupted. On top of that, his former employer used a defined benefit pension plan, which was still common in 1991. That means Gary receives a fixed $1,650 every month, regardless of what the market does. Total monthly income, $4,540. His mortgage closed in 1988. His children are grown. Net savings, roughly $340,000. From 1991 through 2024, 33 years, Gary has received approximately $1,017,000 from Social Security, more than $1 million. Gary caught the system at the right moment. Defined benefit pensions were standard. Cost of living adjustments were realistic. The retirement age was lower. The mortgage was already paid. This is not a reflection of his intelligence. This is a reflection of his timing. Denise is 61. She has been a nurse in Ohio since 1986. Her average annual income has been around $58,000. Below the cap, meaning every dollar she earned was subject to the payroll tax. Over 38 years, her total FICA contribution, including the employer match, is estimated at over $230,000. If she applies in 2034, her projected monthly benefit is approximately $1,780. After the 2033 cut, that becomes $1,371. That is $4,908 less per year. Over 10 years, $49,080. Her retirement account? The 2008 financial crisis wiped out 38% of her 401k. Recovery happened, but slowly. Today she has roughly $87,000 saved. She does not own her home. Rent in her area has increased 31% since 2022, putting her monthly housing cost at around $1,150. Gary's lifetime Social Security receipts, 1991 to 2024, $1,017,000. Denise's projected receipts, 2034 to 2054, with the cut, approximately $328,000. Same system, different era of design. The gap, $689,000. Both of them followed the rules. Both of them worked. Both of them paid in. But Gary walked out in 1991, when defined benefit plans were intact, when the cap was low, when the fund was healthy, when his mortgage was finished. Denise is trying to walk in during 2034, when defined benefit plans are history, when the cap is protected, when the fund is at its edge, when rent takes a significant portion of any fixed income. So why can't we see this clearly? First, the inevitability frame. Trust fund going broke stories appear every year, but the framing is consistent. Demographic fate, mathematical necessity, unavoidable crisis. The word crisis shows up regularly. The words political choice almost never appear next to it. The result is that people assume the solution is impossible, so they plan individual adaptation instead of questioning the design. The CBO number we covered in Section 2, one change, 30 additional years, rarely makes the same headline as the crisis itself. Second, the psychology of automatic deductions. FICA comes out of the paycheck before you see it. It does not feel like spending money. Behavioral economics calls this the salience effect. Invisible losses are processed differently than visible ones. A 2019 survey from the Boston College Center for Retirement Research found that 63% of workers had never calculated their total lifetime FICA contribution. You do not fight for money you have never seen. Third, cap invisibility. How many people know the $168,600 payroll cap exists? A 2022 General Social Survey found that only 11% of wage earners were aware of this number. 11%. If the cap is invisible, the structural inequality it creates is invisible. And if the inequality is invisible, there is no pressure for reform, because people cannot articulate the problem they are living inside. Fourth, and perhaps the most powerful, the contract illusion. Social Security was designed as an insurance program, and that framing has lodged deep. You pay in, you get protection in retirement. A contract. But after 1983, the system left the payout side of that contract exposed to demographic and political variables. The cap was preserved. Long-term solvency was not secured. Denise fulfilled her side of the contract for 38 years without interruption. The other side changed the terms. This is not Denise's analytical failure. This is the accumulated design choices of a system settling onto ordinary workers' paychecks. So what can actually be done? 3 concrete steps. Go to ssa.gov and open a My Social Security account. Look at your total lifetime FICA contributions and your current projected benefit. Then read the SSA's own 2024 Trustees Report Summary, available on the same site, and see the 2033 date and the 77% payment capacity in their own words. Most people know the system is stressed in an abstract way. Seeing your own numbers on a government screen is different, cognitively and emotionally. It takes about 20 minutes. You are not buying anything. And the question we kept returning to in this video, at what threshold can the system still be fixed? The answer is written there, in the SSA's own language. If you are 5 to 15 years from retirement, research the Social Security claiming delay strategy. The logic, if possible, draw from other assets first and delay your Social Security application. Every year you delay increases your monthly benefit by approximately 8%. Waiting from 62 to 70, 8 years, increases the benefit by roughly 76%. That can absorb a significant portion of the automatic 23% cut. This strategy does not work for everyone. It requires a bridge income source. But a single session with a certified financial planner can run the numbers for your specific situation. Average cost, $200 to $400. 10-year impact, potentially tens of thousands of dollars. Federal legislation to remove or raise the payroll cap comes up in Congress every session. Tracking it is straightforward and public. Go to congress.gov and search for Social Security Expansion Act or Social Security 2100 Act. You can see how your representative voted. This is not a partisan issue. It is an advocacy issue. And it has historical precedent. The 1983 reform itself was largely a product of organized public pressure. At that time, the system was also being framed as mathematically unsolvable, until the frame changed. The number of people who make their position known affects which committee a bill gets stuck in. This is not an abstract statement. Denise's story is why this video exists. For 38 years, automatically, a portion of every paycheck was taken, and she was told, "This is the contract. When you retire, you will receive what was promised." The contract breaking does not come from Denise's choices. It comes from a decision made in 1983 and protected in every Congress since. The money was not stolen. It was paid into the system. But the terms of its return were changed, without asking Denise. This is not her failure. This is the design. And designs can be changed, because this one already was. Once, there are exits. Smaller, less obvious than they should be, but real. If this video gave you something concrete, subscribe, because the next one is more specific: how the 401k system was designed in 1978 and who it was actually designed for. Spoiler, it was not for Denise. Turn on notifications. See you in the next one.